Mastering the Envelope System, a guide to budgeting success. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel Sense Make Sense. If you're new here, my name is Jigs, and today we're talking about the envelope system and how it works. The envelope system is a simple cash-based budgeting technique where you divide your income into specific spending categories and store the allocated cash in envelopes. The goal is to ensure that you don't overspend in any given category, as once the cash in an envelope is gone, you cannot spend more in that area for the remainder of the budgeting period. It's often used by individuals trying to gain control over their finances and curb unnecessary spending. Before you start using the envelope system, it's important to decide which categories of your budget you want to manage using cash. Common categories include groceries, cash set aside for food shopping. Gas for fueling your vehicle. Entertainment includes movies, games, or social activities. Dining out, money for restaurants, coffee shops, and takeout, takeaway. Clothing budget for clothing purchases. Transportation, other transportation-related expenses like public transit or car maintenance. Each of these categories gets its own envelope. You may want to identify any additional categories that reflect your personal spending habits or savings goals, such as personal care for things like haircuts or toiletries. Savings, you could set up a savings envelope to prioritize putting money aside. Once you've decided on your categories, the next step is to allocate your income. For example, let's say you earn $2,000 for the month. You would divide this money between the different envelopes based on what you believe is a reasonable amount to spend in each category. For instance, groceries, $300. Gas, $150. Entertainment, $100. Dining out, $100. Clothing, $50. Savings, $200. You would physically place $300 in the groceries envelope, $150 in the gas envelope, and so on. Now that you have set aside cash for each category, you must monitor your spending throughout the month. When you make a purchase, take the money from the corresponding envelope. For example, if you buy $50 worth of groceries, you'd remove $50 from the groceries envelope, leaving $250. Once the cash in any envelope is gone, you are not allowed to spend any more money in that category for the rest of the month. This is a key part of the system. It limits your spending and prevents you from going over budget. It also encourages you to plan ahead and stick to the limits you've set. At the end of each month or budgeting period, evaluate how well the envelope system worked for you. Were there categories where you had too much money left over? Did you go over budget in any category? Do you need to reallocate your funds for the next month? If you have money left over in the dining out envelope, for instance, you can carry that cash into the next month or allocate it to another category. If you consistently run out of cash in certain categories, for example groceries, consider adjusting the amount you allocate to that category in the next period. Physical money limit, the most significant benefit is the hard limit imposed on each spending category. Once the envelope is empty, you can't overspend in that category, which helps reinforce discipline. Visual aid. Seeing the physical cash in your envelope reminds you of your limits. It provides a more concrete way of tracking your money compared to digital methods. Promotes mindful spending. Because you're using actual cash, you're more likely to be thoughtful about each purchase. You may think twice before buying something expensive if you know that you'll run out of cash in your envelope. It helps prevent debt. If you don't have the cash, you can't buy it. This helps prevent you from relying on credit cards or loans to cover your expenses, thus avoiding debt. Reduces impulse purchases. The physical limit of having cash forces you to be intentional about your purchases. When you only have a set amount for the month, you might reconsider making an unnecessary purchase. Cash-only basis. The biggest challenge with the envelope system is that it relies entirely on cash. This can be inconvenient in a world where many transactions are made digitally, either via debit or credit cards. Carrying large amounts of cash can also be risky or impractical. Not ideal for recurring bills, the system works well for discretionary spending but isn't as suitable for fixed recurring expenses like rent, utility bills or subscriptions, which are often paid digitally. No flexibility in digital transactions. While some people adapt the envelope system to work with online banking apps, it's a little trickier to move funds from one category to another digitally. For example, if you overspend in the entertainment category, you can't just move funds around as easily as you could with physical envelopes. Difficult to track large expenses. For large, infrequent expenses, for example, buying a car or making home repairs, the envelope system can be cumbersome since those types of expenses might not fit easily into monthly envelopes. With the advent of budgeting apps, the envelope system has been adapted to work with digital tools. These apps mimic the traditional envelope system, but instead of using physical cash, you manage virtual envelopes. Popular apps like Good Budget and You Need a Budget, YNAB, allow users to create envelopes for different categories, and the app tracks how much you've spent and what's remaining in each category. Advantages of using a digital version. No cash hassles, you don't need to carry physical cash around. Automatic tracking. Spending is automatically recorded when you make a transaction with linked accounts or cards. More flexible. You can adjust your envelopes on the go and easily move money between categories. The envelope system is a powerful tool for many people who want to stick to a budget, especially those who tend to overspend on impulse purchases. It brings a level of discipline and mindfulness to spending that can lead to improved financial health. However, it's not the right solution for everyone, especially in today's cashless society. For those who prefer digital transactions, digital envelope systems can offer a modern, flexible alternative. If you find the envelope system too restrictive, you could try a hybrid approach where you use it for certain categories and keep others digital. Ultimately, the key to budgeting successfully is finding a system that works for your lifestyle and financial goals.